welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy Podcast. And this time I'm looking at Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches, Chapter 92, Tea, as in the beverage, not the letter or the mister. And this is sort of the beginning of the new Student Council arc. Not the Student Council arc from Utena, but the formation of the new Student Council by Miyamura, now that he's going to become the new Student Council president. And obviously, Yamada's already been roped in as his secretary, as we find out. He's doing it so Sarachi doesn't get roped in to the position. So our two big duo, Nene and Shinichi, are hanging around as usual, and we find out that they are going to be the new two new members of the student council as well. And I've noticed they've been just popping up a lot. They're obviously, the authors trying to push these two together, and they pretty much make a duo whenever you see them now. And they just have been appearing a lot in the manga in general. I think the author just really likes those two and their bumbling little kind of Laurel and Hardy shtick. So they get roped in. They're of course a little hesitant, but Nene wants to be around Yamada, and Shinichi kind of just wants to be around Nene. But once again, he was trying to be student council president, so at least he's on, the council. But I think he really just wants to hang out with Nene. And so these two suckers get brought in as well. And Miyamura announces his next and most important thing is to get two new vice presidents, because one, he just needs the position filled, and two, when he leaves school, he's probably going to hand over the presidency to one of them. So he should choose well now, as they are likely heirs to the throne, as it were. And of course, Yamada gets a lot of work dumped on him, and he can't go after class and hang out with Shinichi at the bookstores, which was hinted at in the last chapter as happening. And, their little romance can't run perfectly smoothly, otherwise it wouldn't be interesting. So, we see him being kind of the secretary boy, and just kind of everybody pretty much treats him as Miyamura's butt monkey, and the three most promising students kind of treat him like utter trash. The one punk kid, he does it as well, but they kind of do it in a dismissive way. He does it in a Kate-approved delinquent manner. And then we probably get the bustiest girl in this series so far, and she's kind of a space case, but at least she's the only one who seems nice, even if she is totally kind of on her own little world, and not, from what we've seen, the sharpest pen in the bunch, in the pen case. So, Nene, Shinichi, and Miyamura interviewed these people, and Nene and Shinichi are like, those first three, they were, really great answers, really, the kind of people that you'd expect. But the punk guy, he's too much of a rebel, and the girl, she's a ditz. So any one of those three are great choices. It's just kind of what do you want, boss man? And Shinichi's like, well, I don't know really to say. The only thing I noticed was that when I was out in the hallway, you know, the guys you didn't like, they were the only people who, you know, the way that we saw them in the interview was the way that they were out in the hallway when they didn't think my opinion mattered and I was just some flunky. And so Miyamura's like, I'm gonna pick them. That's why I had you out there. Bravo. So obviously we have two new characters to the series. I'm kind of wondering, and before we get that, of course, Yamada rushes to the club room and he doesn't see Sriracha and he's all disappointed. And Nene is like, "Hey, you can walk home with me." Yes, 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 yes. But turns out Sriracha just went to the bathroom, and I'm like, good. It's just way too early for them to put in unnecessary BS in their relationship. So it's nice to see them just being like, yeah, they're a cute couple and they're still in the honeymoon phase. So like nothing really ticks them off, and they'll do kind of anything for each other. And so it's like, yay, all right, heartwarming moment at the end. But I mean, I have a feeling that those two that got picked were really the only ones who could be picked. They were the most interesting. We need a kind of another brawler, kind of angry character. So that guy was a good choice. Plus, the author really likes delinquents, so her thrown in another one really unsurprising. And I mean, there's been one or two other delinquent characters as really kind of secondary and tertiary characters, but one as part of the main cast would be nice. And the other girl, she's just so every once in a while, the author realizes she's in a shonen magazine and puts in some because hey, I mean, not all guys only care about that, but you won't go poor assuming that guys do like that as a general rule. And so they are probably going to be sticking around. I mean, we've only kind of seen a little of them. I'm sure there's, especially with the author, some more depth to them. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to be the new witches and warlocks. If we're kind of seeing the first two kind of the new breed, or am I just being crazy? I don't know, but I mean, I feel like the witch power's got to come back somehow. Maybe these two will just find a way to trigger it, but I'm wondering if, I mean, this is pure speculation, me throwing out the dice, seeing how it goes. But I'm wondering if these guys are going to be new witches, or are they going to have some different power? I don't know. But we're probably going to have to get to know these guys a little more before we get back into the witch plot, which I don't mind. I mean, they seem like interesting characters, so it'll be fun to learn a little more about them. Other than that, glad to see them back from winter break, and really look forward to next week, see what these guys do. All right, see you guys next time.